Cassie had been enjoying one of her rare quiet nights. No studio sessions, no events, no interviews, just silence. She wrapped herself in a warm blanket, dimmed the lights, and tried to relax after a week of constant online chatter about old industry drama resurfacing. She wasn't expecting anything unusual to happen. But at exactly 11:47 p.m., her phone buzzed with a strange notification unlike anything she'd seen before. The sender was unknown. The message was encrypted, appearing as a glowing blue bubble with a lock icon next to it. When she tapped it, the text unfolded slowly, almost like it was being typed in real time. He's talking again. The truth is coming out. Be ready. Cassie's breath caught in her chest. Her hands trembled. This wasn't just a random warning. It felt personal, targeted, and very intentional. She stared at the message for a few seconds, hoping there was more. Then a second line appeared. Big. For a moment, she froze. She whispered to herself, "No, not him, why now?" The message wasn't referring to Biggie, as many outsiders would assume. It meant Big Marcellus, a figure from deep inside the early 2000s music industry, someone who knew too much, someone who had disappeared from the scene years ago after witnessing things that were never meant to be public. Cassie had always feared the day his name resurfaced. Not because she had done anything wrong, but because she had been around during a chaotic era, an era full of secrets, alliances, rivalries, and decisions she never wanted to revisit. Cassie's heart raced as she locked her phone. If Big Marcellus was talking, if he was revealing things, this was only the beginning. And she knew life would not stay quiet for long. You arrived at the location just after sunset, following the directions sent through a private email. It wasn't a courthouse, not even close. Instead, the hearing was being held inside an abandoned underground studio in the outskirts of New York, a place once used by producers to host secret listening parties before it fell into silence. Now, for one night, it had been revived for something far more intense. At the entrance, 2 guards checked IDs, scanned bags, and collected every attendee's phone, locking them inside numbered metal boxes. Inside, the atmosphere was heavy, almost electric. Only 20 chairs were arranged in a tight semicircle facing a single spotlight on a low stage. The air smelled faintly of dust, metal, and tension. Whispers echoed through the dim room. Is he really going to talk? Why now? Does he have proof? Everyone knew who he was. Big Marcellus, a former insider who had vanished from the public eye for nearly a decade. He wasn't famous, but he was dangerous in a different way. He had been in the rooms where powerful decisions were made, the rooms where secrets lived. At 8:09 p.m., the lights flickered, and a deep voice announced, "He's ready." Big Marcellus walked in slowly, escorted by 2 men in plain black suits. He looked older, broader, with a shadowed face that revealed years of silence and regret. He carried a slim metal briefcase that instantly drew everyone's attention. A man at the front cleared his throat. This is an official voluntary hearing. Tonight, Mr. Marcellus will share testimony about events from the early 2000s entertainment industry. Names may be mentioned. Your heart pounded. Cassie's name was rumored to be on his list. The room went silent as Big Marcellus opened the briefcase. The truth was about to begin. Just as Big Marcellus settled into his seat and placed his metal briefcase on the table, the heavy studio door creaked open again. Everyone turned their heads at the exact same moment. The guard straightened instantly, caught off guard by someone who clearly wasn't on the list. Through the doorway stepped a tall figure in a long black coat. For a second, nobody recognized him. The dim lighting, the shadows, the tension in the air made everything feel distorted. But when he finally moved into the pale spotlight, the room reacted with a soft wave of gasps. It was Tim Westwood, not the public version people once knew, but a more withdrawn, guarded version of him. He wasn't invited. He wasn't expected. And yet, he walked in like he had every right to be there. The lead organizer immediately whispered to a guard. He wasn't cleared. Check if he's on the secondary list. The guard shook his head. Nothing. He just arrived. Tim ignored the commotion and quietly took a seat in the last row, folding his hands, eyes fixed on Big Marcellus. The way he watched him wasn't casual, it was intense, analytical, almost like he already knew what was going to be said. People around you whispered, "What is he doing here?" Was he part of this? Does he know Big? Cassie, watching the secure live feed from home, felt a cold shiver run down her spine. She whispered under her breath, "Why would Westwood show up to this? What does he want?" Big Marcellus looked directly at Tim for a long moment, a look filled with history, secrets, and unfinished conversations. Then Marcellus exhaled heavily and said into the microphone, "Looks like someone doesn't want you to talk tonight." The entire room froze. The room went dead silent after Big Marcellus's remark. His eyes remained locked on Tim Westwood, who sat unnervingly calm in the back row, one leg crossed over the other, hands folded like he had been expecting this moment for years. Big Marcellus leaned toward the microphone, his voice low and gritty. "I didn't come here to start a war," he began, "but I came here to end a lie." Every head tilted forward. Even the guards stopped moving. He clicked open the metal briefcase with a slow, echoing snap. Inside were neatly stacked folders, a few cassette tapes, and a small hard drive wrapped in red tape. The tension in the room shot up instantly. These weren't props. These were records of a past era, things people had sworn never to bring back up. Marcellus placed his hand on the first folder, but didn't open it yet. Instead, he spoke. Back then, the industry wasn't just about music. It was about control. Alliances. Secrets. Everyone knew someone something. The room shifted uncomfortably. And there was someone. He paused, letting the suspense settle like smoke. Someone powerful, who kept a lover hidden in plain sight. Someone the public never connected to the truth. Murmurs exploded across the room. Some looked toward Tim. Others looked toward the briefcase. Nobody dared to speak loudly. Tim Westwood's jaw tightened, just barely, but enough for everyone in the last rows to notice. He kept staring at Marcellus without blinking, like he was silently warning him to stop. Marcellus continued, "I'm not here to expose innocent people. I'm here to reveal the pressure, the manipulation, the games that were played behind cameras, games that pulled in names who had no idea they were being used." Cassie's name wasn't spoken, but the air felt like it was seconds away from breaking. And everyone sensed the next revelation could bring the whole room crashing down. Cassie sat alone in her living room, the glow from her laptop screen casting long shadows across the walls. She had been watching the secure live feed of the hearing for nearly an hour, her heart rising and falling with every sentence Big Marcellus spoke. The moment he hinted at hidden relationships and secret power plays, she felt her palms grow cold. Not because she was guilty of anything she wasn't, but because she had been there during an era where rooms were filled with tension, favors, and unspoken deals. She knew how easily her name could be dragged into something she had no part of. Her phone buzzed nonstop. Old friends. Bloggers wanting statements. Her team advising her to stay quiet for now. But Cassie didn't feel like staying quiet. She walked to the window, watching the city lights flicker below, unaware of the storm building online. Her reflection looked back at her, tired, tense, but determined in a way she hadn't felt in years. "This will drag on for days," she whispered to herself. "Or I can stop it." With a deep breath, she opened her front camera and hit record. Her voice trembled at first. "I didn't expect tonight to happen. A lot of names are being thrown around and a lot of stories are being twisted, but I think it's time I speak for myself." She paused, gathering courage. Her eyes softened, but her tone sharpened with resolve. "I'm not here to accuse anyone or defend anyone. I'm here because I won't let others tell my story anymore." She ended the recording before saying too much, a deliberate move, leaving just enough mystery to ignite the internet. Within minutes, her 15-second clip leaked. Hashtags exploded. Millions waited for part 2. And Cassie realized, this wasn't trouble. This was a turning point. Everything was about to change.